So I'm back again. And I think I came back because I also still had something on my heart, regarding Juneteenth and it being a federally recognized holiday. And I have some people very close to me that feel very differently about this. Like some people are really celebrating it. Some people feel like it's an air sandwich. I understand both sides of it. Here's the thing. It hurts me to see so many of us who are descendants of child slavery going back and forth and arguing with each other when the fact of the matter is that those of us to whom this matters a lot have every right to feel that way. Those of us who feel like it's not enough have every right to feel that way. The problem is this being a federal holiday in a country that does not require and will not be participating in any comprehensive, real educational framework for why it is this holiday exists is problematic. I know that our people vote more than some other people do, and yet get laws passed specifically for protection of them. But when we do anything, the things that we have fought for, everyone benefits from. That's not the problem. The problem is that we have a really hard time being specific about things that belong to us. We as a people really struggle with the idea that anything belongs to us. We have a hard time accepting that and to stop participating in this concept that you can equate blackness, right? The experience of being black in America, that is not synonymous with being impoverished in America or experiencing racism, white supremacy in America. They're not the same. Our experience is unique to our history. And when we do not hold space for that, we spit in the faces of our ancestors and what they suffered. We disrespect their legacy and we water it down because we participate in not holding space for them. We directly participate in the disrespect for what they suffered on the land that they bled and died on. That's the problem. I'm not saying that we can't have conversations about what kind of horrors are being suffered by people who chose to come to the United States, because those stories deserve their own platform. But that platform is not mine. When I'm talking about my ancestors, those who were enslaved on their own lands and those that were brought over to become enslaved, we're not talking about the same story. And what I have found as a native from Los Angeles, what I have found is that in LA, you can't say or talk about the plight of Black people without including the plight of brown people when they're not the same. There may be some overlap, but they're not the same. Because if I get in trouble with the police, or if I run into some issues, or if I just decide that I don't want to, live that life anymore, I can't take a 2-hour drive and go back to Mexico. That's not I don't have that option. I don't have anywhere else to go. No shade, just facts, right? Like, I don't have a tia to go stay with over the summer. I don't have that. My experience and my history is in a different direction. And so people who come over, immigrants, my grandmother is an immigrant, okay? Her parents are from the Bahamas, but I only have one grandparent that's an immigrant. The rest of my grandparents are descendants of child slavery, and I'm very proud of that. We really lack a sense of identity, and we are really uncomfortable with the reality of what our history actually is. And we allow everyone else to co-opt our stuff, even the way that we speak, right? People are literally out here saying that slang that we've created because of the way that we speak to each other, our own vernacular, is now internet slang. Everything that we have gets whitewashed and dispersed to, it belongs to everyone. Everything that's ours, and we do nothing about it. And that's what's happening with Juneteenth, in my honest opinion. This belongs to us. It belongs to us. It has meaning to us. And part of me is just as happy for those who fought for it to be recognized. And I'm also just as sad as those who view it as nothing but symbolics. Because it's both. We should have our own holiday for us. We deserve a holiday for us. If you're a descendant of chattel slavery, you get to have your day of remembrance. But no, we can't have anything that's just for us. It's got to be for everybody. For people who don't even value or have any respect whatsoever for how this holiday came to be. We got to share everything with everybody else. That's my problem with it. And when I woke up today, part of the reason why I've been so on fire is that the ancestors they were standing on my head, on my neck. They were shaking me. All of that. All of that. And I felt very deeply, and I felt this wave of emotion. And that's the problem. I get to have my days of remembrance for things that are unique to me. And I will not be alienated or demeaned because I hold space for that. Being Black is not the same as being poor. Being Black is not the same as living in the inner city. Being Black is not the same as you growing up listening to rap music. No, you can't use our language. No, you can't use my vernacular. No, you can't. It doesn't belong to you. There are things that are just mine. There are things that belong to my people. And for as much as people want to talk about appropriation and people want to talk about, us co-opting stuff, my entire life, my skin, the way that I move, the way that I sing, the way that I do everything has been co-opted. Miss me with that shit. The Black American is the single source for all popular culture around the world. Miss me with that. There are places within the United States, singular locations, Los Angeles, New York, New Orleans. There are singular places in the U.S. that have been the source for popular culture, music, language, everything. And we don't get credit for anything. And we don't get our own anything. This was our holiday. And we had every right in the world for it to be exclusive to us. And we didn't get that. And so it's a triumph for some, and it's sad for others, and I understand. I understand. I think that we need to show more empathy to each other for the fact that we are always being thrown scraps. Because that's what it is. And so when people want to come in my DMs talking about, oh, you abandoned your... You know what? We've abandoned us a long time ago. I'm actually on the salvage mission. Believe it or not. I didn't abandon shit. I'm trying to salvage something. I'm trying to carve something. I'm trying to create a new way out. What I said a few minutes ago about the fathers, I meant that shit. I'm trying to build something new. A place with their own requirements where we actually follow through with what we say we are. Where who we are and what we say we're going to do is held in account. That's what I'm on. And you don't get there doing things the way you used to do it. You don't get there accepting the old ways of doing things. That's not how you get there. You get to a new way of life when you require things that you didn't before, when you have new standards. And having new standards doesn't feel good. And trust me, I understand why a lot of people don't fuck with me. Because I'm not over here flossing and giving you hot takes and talking shit and making you feel bad about where you're at. I'm making suggestions about what we're going to do moving forward. That's who I am. And I know that that's not popular. It's not popular. I don't beat my face to hell and put on fake eyelashes before I get on Instagram and pretend that I just woke up so that more people will listen to me. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm about. I have about 20 people by the end of the summer who live here in Costa Rica, and I will be continuing to help other people get free. Like, I actually do what I say. This was accomplished within the span of less than a year. That's why I'm not listening to any of these other community builders who have moved no one, employed no one, found homes for no one, only line their pockets so they can keep flossing on everybody else and making everyone else feel bad. We're not in this. We're not the same. We're not the same. So we have to raise the bar. We have to raise the bar. We have to. We have to. What we accept for ourselves collectively as a people, we have no bar. What we accept for ourselves in our relationships with each other, appreciation trophies. You get a trophy just for showing up. That's where we're at. This Juneteenth thing, the bar is low. It's something, but it's not enough. It's something, but it's not enough. If I got to share, then it's not just for me. It's for everybody. I used to say to people all the time when I lived, back home in LA, why do people have such a hard time with Leimert Park being like our area? We go to Chinatown, nobody has a problem with that. We go to Little Armenia, there's a sign off the freeway, Little Armenia, nobody has a problem with that. But we can't have our own area. You can drive to areas that the signs are literally written in Yiddish, in Yiddish, in Chinese, and whatever. In Los Angeles, right? On public streets, you can go to neighborhoods where all the signs are in a completely foreign language. But we can't have an area of town that's just for Black people. There's got to be we have to start thinking outside of what we've been taught. Just because your parents and your grandparents and their grandparents were comfortable with it doesn't mean that we have to be. Why are we still on the same shit? Why are we still doing the same thing? I don't want symbolism. I don't want performative love. I want that love to show up in actual meaningful ways. I don't want performance. I don't want you to show up and perform being a father. I want you to actually be one. I don't want names of presidents and Martin Luther King in my neighborhood that get no resources. I don't want that. I want what the fuck I'm owed. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to take it and go somewhere else. I'm not coming back. I will never come back. Because I know what it is. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's for all your relationships, including where you live and who you vote for. When they show you who they are, believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. Who are you? What are you willing to do? What do your ancestors, what have they put on your heart? What do they require of you? On this Juneteenth, if this is the day, let this be the day that you set up your altar. Get you a white cloth, get them a candle, give them some incense, give them a shot glass or a full glass of water, give them some rum or some gin or something. Cook them a plate. Start venerating your ancestors. Because they will show up for you. But you got to show up for them. First set of division is us against ourselves. Their blood is running through you right now. This is a call to venerate your ancestors. You are taking care of yourself. It is an act of self-care to venerate your ancestors on this Juneteenth. Remember that everywhere that you stand is a grave site. There is people who have bled and died in that spot. Venerate those ancestors. Feed them. Give them fresh flowers. Hold space for them. Because this government that you're in will never do it. Giving them a holiday for everyone to get off and get paid is not showing them respect. It is your job to venerate your ancestors. Why are you waiting on the government to do your job for you? We didn't need a holiday from the government. We had our own holiday. Stop waiting for them to value you. You value you. Venerate your ancestors. Show them your appreciation for what they did. Do that for yourself. Stop putting them in the middle of your stuff. I don't need anybody's stamp of approval to value what matters to me. Juneteenth mattered before anybody knew what the fuck it was. And now a whole bunch of people who still don't know what it is are going to get a day off. But it doesn't change the fact that you have an obligation to show up for yourself in this way. Venerate them. Honor them. Show them your appreciation. Tell them thank you. Cook for them. Love on them. Let them know that you see them. We know their story. We are them. They are us. Give them what they deserve. Because I promise you, nobody else will if we don't. Nobody else will. I don't expect my open enemy to honor my dead. That's my job. Y'all know I don't play. And you know that I speak from my heart. I woke up with this. And this sat heavy on me. Because they are not worried about what any president said about anything. They're worried about us not remembering them. Butterfly. It's the same one. They're worried about us not appreciating the blood that they shed. They're watching us go through the same things they went through. They're watching us still beg for the same shit they were begging for. They're watching the overseer from the plantation with the same fucking badge beating us in the street. That's what they're watching. And y'all are waiting for the same people to show you some consideration for your history? That's how they got where they are. On the backs of our dead. They're never going to venerate us. That's our job. Today, we honor our dead. Tomorrow, we honor our fathers only. I'm calling us all to raise the bar. I'm calling us all to action. I am sick and tired of people sitting on their ass waiting for somebody else to do something for them that they're not willing to do for themselves. Sick and tired of it. From the time that slavery was abolished until now, how many billions of dollars have gone through the hands of black folks, particularly black men, and where did that money go? Where did that money go? Where? They handed it right back to their oppressors. If you're comfortable in your oppression, this ain't for you. It's not, and that's okay. If that's what you're comfortable with, that's your business. But if you're really about that action and you actually want to get free, I expect to see it. What did Kanye say? And when he get on, what does he do? Where does he go? What does he spend his money on? Don't let that be you. You have choices. We all have choices. We all have choices. All of us. Give me a couple months. I have some stuff to show y'all. For y'all that think that I'm just running my mouth and talking, I don't flex because it's not beneficial. But I do think that I need to be more comfortable sharing with how I spend my money and what kind of life I've chosen for my children and for my family, for the foundation that I'm building, because it looks different. It's a different thing. You don't see, I don't have 4,000 necklaces on and all. But y'all will see, and I will show you what I choose to spend my money on. Because there's choices. Watch people who are spiritual, watch people who are about the community, and yet they just live in a nicer neighborhood in the same city and town that they grew up in. Watch those. Watch them. Watch them. Because the real leaders should have dirt under their nails. They should have bought large swaths of land. They should have food growing already. They should be offering jobs and opportunities. If they're not doing that, they're just running their mouth. If they're not doing that, they're just running their mouth. If they're not creating opportunity, because if you're one of the few in your community that gets it, then you have an obligation to show others the way. I got people who will get on here anytime and tell y'all how I walk my talk. I do. You're not going to catch me doing a live from, some designer store showing y'all $2,000 heels. That I'm not going to do that. I'm a mother and a wife, and I'm building a community. I don't need that. I don't need to do that. I'm very clear about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. I'm not just, I need those of us that are like fully grown. I really need us to stand in what we know to be true. And what we have not had enough of is accountability. I will not accept any more air sandwiches. I'm not interested in your symbolism. I don't want to hear your sales pitch. I'm the daughter of a minister. Preachers don't impress me. I know what the fuck that is. It doesn't do anything for me if you're a good orator, but your life is in shambles. That doesn't do it for me. My father was an honest minister. I know the difference. I'm not with that. That's not who I am. We have to start having actual standards. We have to. And if you're not ready, say that. But don't be in my face asking me where my receipts are. I have receipts. I have receipts. I go where spirit leads me and I do my work because I'm in alignment. I'm clear about who I am. I've been called to do more. Whatever that is, I'm being called to do more. Don't listen to somebody ringing an alarm that they're not listening to. Let me repeat that. Don't listen to anybody ringing an alarm that they're not reacting to. If somebody is telling you that your house is on fire, that the house that we're all in is on fire, and they're sitting there staring you in the face, going, there's a fire, but they're not running. Either they're lying or they don't really have any urgency. Either way, they're not exactly trustworthy. I'm just saying. What? No. Either way, I had to speak on it because this is what our ancestors really want from us. They want us to venerate them. Light them a candle, give them water, give them a little liquor, give them some flowers, burn them some incense, put it on a white cloth, write the names. If you don't know who, then you say, and you say on a piece of paper, this veneration is for my benevolent ancestors who love me, who want what is best for me and for my highest good. Benevolent bloodline ancestors who love me. Say those words exactly. You venerate them. You show them gratitude, burn ancestor money. That's our job. That's what they want from you. Today will always be special because we are what makes it special. I hope what I've said has been beneficial. It comes from my heart. I know it was a rant, but it had to be said. Have a wonderful Juneteenth. Bye, you guys.